What would you even call this dish?
Autumn's awesome roasted tomatoes with lentil pasta. Don't spill it. Okay, we're doing roasted tomatoes, and this is a standard recipe that I've used many times. And it's always a popular one. Abraham likes them. Everybody likes them. I'm gonna show you how easy it is and how delicious. So the first thing we're gonna do, you wanna break up one of those while I cut up the tomatoes?
I'd rather.
That's fine.
I'd rather use my own garlic.
Okay. So I always use the same dish, so I know how much to use. But
The same size dish.
Well, I always use the exact same dish.
Okay.
Let's talk about what roasted tomatoes are.
I think, are they gonna be tomatoes that you roast?
They are.
They can't be.
But
There's no way.
they're so yummy, they're so easy, and there's a trick to them. But every time I make them, people say, or I take them to a party, or I serve them at home, and even every time I make them with you, you always say to me, Mom, these are really good. These are good. Like, you always say it like you're having them for the first time.
I say it like I'm trying to make you feel better about it.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So they're just so yummy. But the thing is, you have to cut them in half.
Just once in half is usually enough too.
So I'm using little cherry tomatoes. You can also use grape tomatoes, which are available all year long. And that's why we have them all year long. And I usually buy 2 containers. Like if it's grape tomatoes, I'll buy 2 because I want to have enough. And what I do, cutting them in half, because if I roast them whole, they're just gonna poach in their skin. And that's not gonna give us the roasty loveliness that we're looking for.
Can I use this knife?
Yeah, you gonna help me?
I want it to go quicker.
Okay, so what I do is I cut enough tomatoes to cover the bottom and have a little bit of a heap on top, but not too much. Because if you have too much, then they'll start to stew. But we don't want them to stew, we want them to roast. So I think we're there. Maybe 1 or 2 more. So what? Okay, while I've cut these tomatoes up, now I put the salt in, and I'm pretty generous with it. I'm using pink Himalayan salt. It's a little bit less salty, I think. I may be wrong on that. So I let the salt sit in the tomato juices so that it will help flavor all of the tomatoes and it will get distributed. Okay, so now it's been sitting here for a few minutes, and the salt has been well distributed and kind of melted into the tomato juices. And this is just fresh oregano that I'm just gonna put in here. Sometimes I'll use just a couple of bay leaves if it's the middle of winter and I don't have fresh herbs. Or you can also use, like, sometimes I use a chimichurri.
Chimichurri?
Chimichurri seasoning. Chimichurri seasoning, which is...
I knew a guy named Jimmy Churri.
You did?
No, I didn't. That was a lie.
We're supposed to be true. We're supposed to be honest.
Well, that's different than true.
That is olive oil. It's always been olive oil ever since we started cooking. Okay, so what's in here is garlic, parsley, oregano, onion. I can't read that.
So were you just making it up? No, garlic, parsley, onion, chili flakes, oregano, black pepper, basil, and bay leaf.
Okay, so you can use that instead. The bottom line is you want tomato, salt, olive oil, and an herb of some kind, or a couple of different herbs.
And pepper.
And pepper. Oh, and the most important thing is make sure your oven's preheated to 400 degrees.
My favorite part of these, when they come out, is the garlic pieces.
Okay, I have to tell you, you need to add more oil than you think you need, because you want them to not get so dried out that they stick to the pan. They are gonna dry out a little bit. And again, you're gonna eyeball it. You want enough to coat the bottom sufficiently, but you don't want it to rise up and be swimming in the oil. And the oil is gonna help be a sauce for you for other things if you have extra. A tad bit more. And I think more pepper. What do you think? This has red pepper flakes in it.
Put more in that. That's black pepper and red pepper flakes in it. Too much! That's ruined now.
That's how I roll. This is it. So you put them into a 400 degree oven. You cook them for 45 minutes, set a timer, and here's the hardest part. At 45 minutes, when it's done, turn the oven off and walk away. Do not open the oven door. This is where it continues to cook and get more roasty, and this is key. That's the hardest part. I have some pre-cooked pasta and I have some pre-cooked lentils, and I'm gonna heat them up together, but first I'm gonna put them all together. This is a great way to eat these roasted tomatoes, and it's so delicious, it's gonna blow your mind.
We have a recipe for these lentils.
These are the lentils that we did in our previous video, Lentils with Mom. I think this is enough. I'm gonna mix it together before I heat it up. So you pick the garlic out right away when it comes out of the oven.
No, like after it's been cooked, I like eating
the garlic by itself.
the garlic. I'll eat the garlic. Yeah, I guess I can eat. I do it first. Can I finish?
Do it. That's a lot of tomatoes, though. You might want to. All right.
You don't know me.
See, show the oil. That oil is what I was talking about. What do you think? Does it work? But it's delicious.
Because the tomatoes have so much flavor.
So much flavor.
Do we have any bread? No? Okay. Good talk.
I do, but we didn't prepare it. That is so good.
I just got some garlic and I'm just like, this is very easy.
I mean, talk about a flavor powerhouse, right? So these roasted tomatoes are really great because, like I said, you can have them all year long. They're good for giving as gifts at Christmas. If you want to give food gifts, you can make a batch and put it in one of those little decorative jars.
But refrigerate it.
But refrigerate it and tell people that they have to eat it within a week, and they will, because they're so delicious. But every time I have these at a party or I take them someplace as a dish to bring, always a couple of people will walk up to me and say, "What are in those tomatoes?" It's completely yummy. It's just like comfort, yum, flavor pizzazz. That's what I was gonna say. No flavor.
You can't run from Texas, Mom. It's coming to get you in your older age.
Delish.
This is the quickest recipe we've ever done.
I know.
Because we did stuff beforehand. You did stuff beforehand.
Really smart to start our day off with a quick video that we can eat right away, because so often we're not eating till much later and we're just starving by the time we do sit down and eat.
Starving and falling apart.
Arguing.
You do that anyways.
Throwing temper tantrums.
You do that anyways. We're trying to shoot 4 videos today. Well, 1 down.
1 down. It's not noon yet.
There have been many times where we've shot 3 videos in a day and we start at like noon.
Like 1 o'clock almost.
Really?
Like afternoon, way afternoon. But I wanted to talk about the different things that you can use with these roasted tomatoes.
They're very versatile.
They are very versatile. Like I said, I've taken them to many parties. I've had them at many of our parties. One of the things you can do is you can put them on avocado toast, delicious, or bagel with cream cheese, vegan cream cheese,
Yes.
or pizza.
Pizza.
What do you mean? Of course.
I like them just on bread.
You can have them on
Nothing
bread.
else. Just bread. Or crackers.
Good quality bread. Yep, crackers and hummus and crackers with, I mean,
I like it on bad quality bread, actually.
I think we should make bread sometime. Like a quick and easy bread. Do you remember when you were growing up, I always used to make, what was it I made?
It was not a sourdough, but it was a bread. It was a white bread.
Good job. It's called Cuban bread, and it's a really quick, easy homemade bread. And we should pull that recipe out and use it, because I always would make it because it was so quick and I could make bread from scratch. And yeah, there was something about it. It didn't have a second rising to it, I think. It was always delicious. I'll find that recipe and we'll do it.
It didn't have a second rising, but it did have an uprising, like Cuba.
Yes,
That's why they call it Cuban bread.
Yes.
Thanks for watching this easy recipe. Took us a total of 20 minutes.
Okay, that's the only description you're gonna use for this recipe. It's easy. Like, it has to be mind-blowingly delicious. That's what I would call it.
Wow.
You don't think so?
Wow.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching us. We really appreciated it. We had a lot of fun. These roasted tomatoes, you just gotta try them, because you're not gonna believe how good they are
Probably not.
until you try them.
Then you'll believe.
Yeah.
Bye.